Okay, so to decorate this album, I'm going to be using the Sound of Winter by Ciao Bella. I have already made a couple projects out of it. There's quite a few bits and pieces missing, but it's a gorgeous collection. You can use whatever paper collection you want, though. It doesn't have to be winter, it doesn't have to be Christmas, it can be whatever you like. I am going to cut some of the pieces out off camera just because it is a lot of cutting and a lot of decision making, and that's what usually takes me the most time. So I will decorate the pages partially, and then I'll come back whenever there's swing tabs or anything like that that has to be added, anything extra, I will do that with you. For decorating the pages, if anyone is new to album making, you literally just have to measure the area that you want to cover. Take a piece of cardstock and, this one's almost perfect actually, and just cut it about 1/4 inch smaller, both width-wise and height-wise, so that you have a little bit of a border. This one I would cut down still just a smidge because I want a white border around it. So I would cut this. This was just one of the scraps that happened to be sitting here. So I would cut this one down like another 1/8 of an inch on both here and here, and then it would fit perfectly. So that's all you have to do. I'll put some of this on and then I'll come back and show you what I've got so far. Okay, so let me show you what I've got so far, and we'll kind of do some of it together here. All right, so page 1. All of my pieces I am inking with ground espresso distress ink. This is an optional step. You can do this or not, or you can choose a different color to do it in. I really wanted this bird image because I just loved it. So I've backed it on some chipboard. I'm gonna have it glued right here on this flap, but I want it to overlap so that the magnets will be right there, and then the other part of the magnets will be over here. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of score tape somewhere around here, and then another piece of score tape here. You want it to be far enough away from the edge that you can have your pattern paper cover over it. So I'll put one there, and then grab another 2 magnets magnetized together. Okay, so I've got 2 here. Put them right there. Put another piece of score tape over the top. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on, actually wait first. Let's just get it where we want it to go so we can adhere these magnets, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so push that down. There's our 2 magnets. Put some score tape over them so they don't move. Now you'll see throughout the album that I have used some just coordinating colored cardstock because I had already done a project with this paper collection, so I didn't have enough to do a complete album. So if you're wondering about that I have used some coordinating cardstock. So now that we've got our magnets on our pages where we want them, let's cover these ones up so they don't move anywhere we don't want them to move. And I'm quickly going to put this piece of pattern paper on now that these magnets are here. Oops, went a little off the rails there. I'll put this one down. Okay, so now we don't want, when you flip this open, you don't want to be able to see that, right? So we're going to put a piece of coordinating cardstock on this part as well. And this is a good way to use up scraps, is in places like this. Okay, so I'll put this on. Okay, I'm just going to ink up the back of this. Okay, and then I just really want to push around those magnets just to make sure it's really adhered there. Okay, and then I'm going to put some wet adhesive here as well as score tape, actually. Just marking so I know how far to put the score tape, because I don't want you to be able to see it, right? Okay, and because we have the magnets already on this page, they'll kind of like just let you know where it's supposed to go, and then push that down to adhere it. And then you can add a little bit of extra decoration. I'm thinking of adding some little words or something here afterwards. But I'll show you what's going on with the rest of this page. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go through it slowly. I have most of the pattern paper on already. So I've got brown here. I did add a magnet going from here to here. Okay, and then I just left this blank. I try to leave some spaces without pattern paper so you have a chance for places to journal or something like that, and also just to cut down on the bulk of the page. So I still have to make a tag to go in the pocket. I usually do that at the end and kind of use my scraps. All right, so there's your page 1. And page 2 and 3 are kind of like mirror images of each other, right? So I'll show you what I've done with page 2 and then we'll do page 3 together. So I've got a swing tab here, just out of a piece of chipboard. And then this opens and that opens there, and I've left that part blank for journaling. And then that opens up one more time. Okay, so that closes, and then that's the magnetized swing tab. Okay, so I will show you how to do it on page 3 here. Okay, so we're going to leave the bird off for a minute, and we're also going to leave this piece off for a minute because this is where the swing tab is going to go. All right, so I've already got a piece of chipboard with a little bit of pattern paper on it. So I'm going to put a magnet, just one single magnet on the other side. So I'm going to put a little piece of score tape and one magnet. Okay, and then I actually want to cover this up with more pattern paper. I shouldn't have put pattern paper on there already. I got a little overzealous. I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper and glue it on there and then just trim around it. Okay, so that's the back side now. Now we are going to poke or cut a little hole in the end opposite the magnet. If you don't have a crocodile like this, you can just use a pokey tool and just punch it through like that. So I don't have my front piece on yet, but I'm going to put this piece on now. Okay, so I'm just opening this up, putting this piece on here. Okay, and then put this so we kind of know where we want it to go. So we want it to be somewhat even with this one, so let's bring it down just a little bit. So about there. And now let's just make sure that when we swing this out of the way, it's all the way out of the way so this can open. So right now it's still a little bit too close, so we need to move it back just a little bit. Okay, let's try that. So when this swings out of the way, perfect. So now it's out of the way so this piece here can open just fine. So we're making a mark on this green piece to designate where we want this to go. Now we'll just take our pokey tool and poke a hole. Okay, get a brad. All right, and now let's put our second magnet on here and add a little bit of score tape to it. Okay, and then lining this up where we're gonna have our hole. Perfect. Now we can attach this onto our page. So the brad through the chipboard piece and through this other hole that we've created. Okay, and then open the tines on the back side. Okay, fabulous. Now we can put this piece of paper on. All right, and there's our matching swing tabs. So let's finish up page 3 here. Okay, so we've got some of the like wood panel paper there. We need a piece of paper for right there. Let's see if I have any more of this. Okay, there we go. So now the tines are covered up. All right, and then on the inside here, what else have we got here? Oh yeah. Okay, so here I've got a magnet going from here to here, okay, to close that one. And then this also lifts up, so I decided to put a magnet here. But then I wanted to keep this blank up here, so in order to do that, I've got one magnet here, and then I opened it up and let another magnet just kind of find its buddy, and then close this down. So you've got a magnet here and a magnet here. Okay, I hope that made sense. So put score tape with 2 magnets magnetized together, close it up, and that's how you get that one. Put one magnet here, open this, let another magnet adhere, like just find its buddy, and put some score tape on it, and then close this down to adhere this one. All right, so now I can put these pieces of pattern paper on. So when I'm inking the edges, I literally am just just going over it with an ink dauber. I just don't like seeing the white core of the paper. I just think this looks nicer, and it kind of goes with the vintagey kind of feel of this whole paper collection. And ink these ones while I'm at it. It does take a bit of time to do every single piece, but I think it really adds to the look of the project. It's all about those finishing touches to make things look really, really polished and pretty. I think I'm going to put that there and then this on the inside. So this is why I tend to do a lot of the putting the paper on off screen, because I mean, it can get a little bit boring. You don't want to sit there for an hour and watch me add pattern paper, and you might not even be using the same paper collection. So this is the creative process where you can, you know, do your own thing. Okay, perfect. Like that, and that, and that, and that. There we go. So there's page 2 and 3. All right, page 4. I've done pretty much the same thing as I did on the first page with that chipboard bird. I just cut this piece out, put it on some chipboard, put another magnet on the back side, added more pattern paper, and then the corresponding magnet is right over here. So it was the same process as on page 1. So this is what I have so far. And then I've got one magnet closing this down. Okay, so put the magnet here and then close it to adhere that one. And now inside here I had in my background papers, I had this sheet of paper that I thought went really, really well with the collection, so I decided to use it. It's watercolor paper, and I literally just took ink pads and like swinked them across the paper, like just ran them across the paper, and then added some water, and you know, went like this with my finger, and to kind of smear them around, and that was all I did. So if you would like to do the same, it's just with Distress Oxides. I think there might be a Distress ink in there as well. This way. Okay, and then I'm just going to add this one little strip because it wasn't quite long enough to go all the way across. Okay, and there, now that magnet is covered. All right, so that is that, and then you've got your pocket here. We can put this piece in now. I haven't inked it up yet either. Okay, so when we are matting the inside of the pocket, you want to make sure that you've got a piece that's going to go in minimum ½ inch. This one is closer to an inch in there. So I tend to have my hand on the back of it just so it doesn't adhere before I want it to adhere. Get it into place. And then adhere it down. Okay, so there is page 4. All right, and moving on, page 5 kind of coordinates with page 4. I just like them to kind of look cohesive. So, like page 4, I've got a little tag that I was going to put right here and do the same magnet process. Okay, so I've got this little cute little squirrel cut out on a piece of chipboard. I'm going to put one single magnet over here. I'm going to back this again with some pattern paper. I'm going to use just some green color. Okay, and once you've got it backed, put one more magnet there with a little bit of score tape. And then kind of situate where you would like your tag to be. And press it down to adhere the magnet in place. All right, and now we can add some adhesive onto here. All right, and the magnet will let us know where it should go. And then just press down to adhere that, and now we can put on this other piece of paper over here. This bit that I'm using right here is actually packaging from a Lavinia's stamp. So, I mean, packaging can be really, really pretty, so don't throw it away. I use packaging in a lot of my stuff, actually. Okay, so that is that. Now we've got some pieces on the inside of this part, so we'll lift that up. Got some brown here. I think I'm going to leave that blank for now, but then this also opens this way, and it also opens this way. So I'm going to put pattern paper on both of these sides because I've got the... Why do I have a magnet there? Oh, I guess I was going to magnetize this part as well. So one magnet there. I think that was a reminder magnet. And then another piece of score tape here. And fold that over. So now, because of this piece kind of overhanging, you'll have to open this with it, you have to lift it up kind of to open it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put that there, and then I don't have a piece for this part. Maybe I might just leave this part blank, I think, because we've got a magnet already underneath here. So underneath this brown part I have one magnet, so I'm just going to use this one as its counterpart, right? So letting it find its buddy through the cardstock, and then I've already got the adhesive there. I'm sure most of you know how to put magnets on already, so probably don't need to go into too much detail about it. Okay, so that is that page. I think everything's on there now. Yep, I just need to put something in the pocket there. Okay, and so on to our last page. Okay, so I have one magnet here. I'm assuming that is a reminder magnet to let me know that I would like to put a whole set here. So I just added one more magnet. Taking a bit of adhesive off, and there we go. So now we've got another set. What else do we have happening here? I think that was the only set of magnets, so I'll just slowly show you. Oh, and there's one here as well. So one underneath this piece going to right here. Okay, so those are the two sets of magnets for this page, but you might have done a different setup, so it's entirely possible that your page might look a wee bit different than mine. Hard to say. All right, so anyway, I am going to put this piece right here. Just need a piece for right there. Okay, and then inside, I think I might do this long piece of the trees. Okay, fantastic. Now I'm just gonna add this one little extra bit here just for some extra interest. I don't think I'm gonna back it on chipboard though. I'm just gonna adhere it as is. And then we can add our pages to our album. Perfect. All right, so we just have a little bit of extra embellishing to do and such, and adding stuff to our pockets. But for now, we'll just add these into our album and then go from there. Our album. Okay, so we've got our album cover with our binding system there. I have just added pattern paper to either side. I'm not doing any extras on the inside covers. So one thing that I forgot to do was to miter my flanges here. So I'm just gonna trim a little bit off each edge here, just to make it easier for the pages to slide in. I'm just gonna use my smaller scissors for this. So just trimming at an angle. Okay, so once they all look like that, we can put our pages in. So make sure everything is the right side up. I've actually put pages in upside down before, so that's why I always say that. And so they are going to find the center of your page. Okay, we're going to remove the tape backing from the first flange here, and then we're going to add a little bit of wet adhesive because I really want these to stay put. Okay, so find the inside, the center of your page. Got the adhesive on here already, and we're just gonna literally slide it onto that flange. And then push on either side to make sure it adheres. Okay, there's your first one, and we'll just do the same process with the other two pages. I like to use my finger to spread the glue a little bit because I find that gives you just a little bit of leeway and working room, because the page will slide just a little bit with the help of the wet adhesive, so that's why I like to use it in conjunction with the dry. Okay, so finding my center and just sliding it on, and just make sure that these are even up and down. Oh, I hope my head didn't get in the way there. Okay, and then the third one. Okay, so once those are in there, it should look like that. And now we can put this entire thing away for now. We're going to do the ribbon closure in just a little bit. But for now, this is done. And in the next video, I will show you how I'm going to create the mixed media cover. And then we can put it all together.